What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here, back with another awesome live stream. And today we're going to be going through half dollars. I've got some really cool Benjamins here, right? Some Franklins. We got that. We're going through those. We've also got, knocking it over here. We've got some really cool walkers that we're going to look at too. So this one's probably in the best condition of any of them that I have. And we're also going to look at some Kennedys that I've got that are basically in BU conditions. So we're going to look at that too. So we're going to finish up one of my boxes. Sorry, not finish up. We're going to start one of my boxes here. And I know a bunch of you guys are asking where I got these, and I'm still needing to find the name of the place that I bought these from. But I think we can probably arrange to get some of those for you guys. So this is the box. It's pretty cool. It's very sturdy. And I got the tubes inside too. It wasn't too costly, but it does add some money when you're doing this versus the bank bags that you may already have. But the reality is this is a lot easier to store than, a couple of these bank bags. They don't sit up very well and all that stuff. Plus, if you have some good coins in there, you may not want them getting scratched up. So that's always a good thing. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through another coin hunt. We're going to look for key dates. We're going to look for, does Stacking Surfer, do I have any of these really cool coins in here that have been hidden? The condition of them, we're going to be talking about how to keep your coins in good condition. Should you clean them? And, what is a $50 worth today? So we're definitely going to do that. So I've got my guest that I'm bringing on again from last week is Frostbite, and I'm going to bring him up here so you guys can see him. So here he is. How are you?
Don't clean your coins.
Don't clean the coins, guys.
Don't clean the coins. How you doing, bud?
Good. I'm doing well. So it's been busy. I've got twin daughters that are going off to college, 2 different states, 2 different schools, and it is just getting, crazy hectic. And then in the meantime, we're going to be also cleaning house after they leave and getting their rooms kind of all prepped for when they come during the holidays. And I'm also in the process of trying to streamline my process and everything else that's going on. And then and the latest thing is the Whatnot guys convinced me to give a try for Whatnot. So we're going to do an auction a week from today. And I'll get that information out to you guys on that, but that's going to be coming up. And so I'm also trying to get that ready so that we have some fun coins for people and hopefully some great deals too. So, some things you just don't know what they're worth until someone really chases after it. And other things you're just trying to help people get, build their stacks. So we're going to be doing some of that. I'll be giving you guys some links on how to sign up for it. We're going to do a couple of videos on how to use Whatnot in the first place. It's definitely, from what I've seen initially, it's more of a young person's game. So someone that has an iPhone and uses a lot of apps, it'll be pretty easy for you guys to pick it up. For those of you that are used to using your computer or your TV for doing YouTube, it's probably going to be a little harder. I still am debating whether I'm going to show it in tandem on my YouTube channel or not. I got to decide if I'm going to do that or not. But that's also an option, as we can stream it on there. So if any of you that are mods want to moderate that from the YouTube side, just send me an email. We'll try to figure that out. But that's coming up. I try not to do too many of the auctions, guys, because it takes a significant amount of time to get ready for it and then to put them together and then to ship everything. And I'm a business guy. I've got to be able to make money for my time on some of this stuff. Eventually, when you're doing auctions, you're trying to make a little bit of money on the side of things to help pay for the editing and everything else that goes on in the channel. But it's all that other stuff that's really tough. So I'm going to give Whatnot at least one try to see, does it streamline that process? And can I make it work? I'm not trying to maximize profitability, but I'm trying to maximize the experience for me, the experience for you guys, and see if it'll work. So that's kind of what I've been up to lately. Interviewed Andy Scheckman on Monday. That went really well. I think we we hit a nerve with Andy on silver pumping. And he gave us his answer on that. And he was very adamant about, I'm not a silver pumper and I'm not pumping the silver. And it's interesting because I got a lot of comments on that, Frostbite, about, people that sell silver are always pumping silver. Well, if you are in sales, you're probably pumping, by that definition, whatever you're selling. And if you can't deal with that, then you probably shouldn't be in sales. And if you're a person that is buying something or you're around something and you say, hey, they're just trying to push something on me, go somewhere else. Like, that's not the place you want to be involved in, right? So if you hate silver and silver is something that you have no interest in, then probably doesn't make sense for you to be watching videos on silver. It doesn't work. And if you don't want to buy a car, don't go to a car dealership. Things like that. But I thought that was interesting, his take on it. He hit it very well. He doesn't need to be sharing this information. He doesn't need to be pushing any of this stuff. He's made his money. He's got plenty of money to do everything he's going to ever want to do in life. Now he's just out there providing a good service for people and trying to help people, get better deals and understand how to invest. I like to say that buying silver is not an investment, buying gold is not an investment, but technically anytime you're dealing with money where you're buying something with it, loose terms, it's an investment. You're hoping that it goes up, maintains, like, for example, if I'm buying gold and silver, I'm hoping it will outpace inflation. It's something that if it goes below inflation, then why did I hold it? I should have just held dollars. It's much easier. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I'm trying to get some other videos filmed to get out for you guys. It's been kind of hectic the last few weeks. How about you, Frostbite? Anything cool in your life?
No, I just want to touch up on something you said about Andy.
Okay.
The difference between pushing and passion. Okay. Andy's passionate about helping people and giving people good, solid information.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of people mistake that. I'm often accused of being pushy and ornery. And it's like, no, I'm really serious about what I do. So I want to clarify that piece for some people. There is a huge difference between passion and pushing.
Huge difference.
Right. And so don't mistake that. If you really stop and just close your eyes to what's going on around you and listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth, he's really trying to give you good, solid information. And that's one thing that I definitely can respect there. So I just wanted to say that because I appreciate you stating that. I had not seen that yet, but Tiger called me and goes, "Did you hear the conversation?" And I'm like, I think I got to go see this. I have been working on a series. It's going to be coming out here in a couple weeks. It's very constitutional. It's about coins. You guys know I did one regarding the kind of the history and the discussion regarding the legality of coins and what has to happen. Talked about various coin acts. But on top of that, I'm also going to be looking at symbology. What do things on coins mean? And talking about the patriotic piece throughout history. So I've got a few more videos that I want to be working in that, and then I'll be releasing that set. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. And of course, the dad jokes, because it's what I do. But that's what's been going on with me. That getting the kids ready for school. My daughter started yesterday.
I love that. I think that's fun. And I don't know. This camera definitely not kill the voice. Oh, can you hear it echoing at all?
Huh?
You hear it echoing? Oh, don't do that, please. Well, let me know if it's echoing.
I don't hear it on my end.
Okay, good. If you guys hear an echo, let me know. I'll just have to kind of not hear it over here. We'll have to figure out a better way to get around it. Yeah, look, I don't see Andy as a pumper. I see Andy as someone that has a business that sells gold and silver, and he's trying to help you understand what your options are, and he's trying to walk you through what things may be happening here in the near future that's going to cause movements in the price of these metals, right, of these assets. Today, gold just hit an all-time high again. So we've just seen it, jumping up even higher. There's a lot of charts that look like we're about to see a new leg, a new breakout coming. So I saw on Twitter, there was a couple of people suggesting $2,800 is our next mark, 27 to 28. I don't know for sure, but the reason to be buying these things is as inflation goes up, they correct that inflation, they hedge for it, specifically with gold. And then what happens is the silver to gold to silver ratio gets out of whack, and you end up with like a 90 to 100 ratio. And we're sitting at around 86, I think, right now. Eventually, that ratio is going to snap, and you're going to see it start to correct back, and you're going to see the price of silver start to get closer to the price of gold. And hopefully, it's during a bull market when gold is continuing to stay high. You can also have the ratio go down, and you know this too, Frostbite. You can have the ratio go down by having gold go down in price and silver holding steady. And that's something we don't necessarily want if you're looking to have your metals go up. Now, frankly, I haven't been stacking long enough. I wish I could get another year or two in of metal prices down below $20 for silver and below, $2,000 for gold. But right now, I don't really see it hitting below those numbers unless we have some kind of an everything crash that goes on and people are just unloading, including institutions, to gain liquidity. So they may be having to shore up loans or other things they might have. So that could happen too. So a couple rules of the game, guys, today as we do this. For every $100 in super chats, I'll be giving away a really cool piece of a 1 ounce silver coin. And then or round or bar. I actually have some bars that'd be pretty cool to give away. And then the other thing we're going to do today too is if we can get up to 100 likes, I will give away one of these $50. So we'll pick out one of those to potentially give away. So hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you guys are not subscribing yet. And then mods, if you could put Frostbite's channel in there often throughout the time, that'll help other people too. So why do I have Frostbite on here? Because he knows a lot more about coins than I do. My focus is really about why you might consider holding gold and silver. How do you do it? What are some of the best ways to do it from a standpoint of reducing your risk? And what are some of the upsides you might get out of it? In addition to that, I talk about the different ways you can stack. And one of the ways to stack that we're talking about today is going to be constitutional silver. All right, let's see. I'm going to do this. So you can see the
Mr.
screen.
Junk. Oh, that's funny.
Yes. So there's that silver. And then we're going to turn on another view for you guys too.
So I just thought of a short by that. I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
Okay. So we're going to have this too. We're going to have a microscope that we can look at too. But we're going to make it a little bit more fun as we go through this. So we're going to do it like this. There we go. And I'm going to put that one up there so you can see our faces a little better. So when we're looking at constitutional silver, what I love about this, it's actually real money that was used. So I'll give you a close-up example here. Here's a 1962 Benjamin Franklin $50. And you've got the Liberty Bell on the back here. And if you have a really good one, you can see 3 lines down here at the bottom. That's pretty much going to be an uncirculated one to have that. At least I haven't seen those. Have you seen any of those Frostbite? I haven't seen them where they're really.
I have a few that have full bell lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them are slabbed. Depending upon the listing, you'll have FBL or full bell lines, just kind of depending what slab they're in. But they have to be all the way across. You can't have any nicks or anything in. It's just like the stairs on the nickel.
So we're going to be looking for that today on the Benjamins. When we're looking at, in my opinion, when we're looking at walkers, I don't have a lot of those, but I do have a few. One of the most important things to me is, does it have a date? Can you read it clearly? And then it's really looking at the detail here on the body is what gets worn pretty fast. So I really haven't seen one that doesn't have anywhere there. And then you're looking at the face too. And then it's the breast feathers. Can you see any? But this one's in pretty good shape. I think this is probably the one I have that's in the best shape. Let's talk mint marks. Is that a mint mark there?
That is a Denver mint mark.
Yep. So mint marks are located here on the Walkers. What about on the Franklins?
Franklins are going to be on the reverse. And if you look at the top of the bill, so that's nothing, but up at the top of the bill, you will have your Denver or San Francisco mint mark.
Okay, cool. So we're going to look at that. So what I'd like to do real quick, hey, Chet Stacker, thank you for the super chat. Let's see what he was asking us. Kick off the super chat run. Let's run it up, guys. Let's give away some of Surfer Stack today. So, hey, Mrs. Surfer, you want to say hi? You want to say hi?
Hello.
Here's your first cameo. Hello.
Just a quick one. There you go.
Hola.
All right. So, I got to get her more into this stuff. She's still trying to figure out what do I do with all of this. Please don't die on me and leave me your whole stash.
Oh, man, she's still figuring out how to handle you.
Oh, that's for sure. That's totally for sure. So a couple things tonight, guys. If you have any questions, please put them in bold or throw it into a super chat. We'll definitely see that. And then the other thing I want to put in there too, as Frostbite did here, guys, it's great to give out memberships. That's going to count towards that that $100 as well. And then I would love to hear from you guys in the chat. You know, we got 26 people in here. Let's hit that thumbs up. The more thumbs up we do, the more people will be shown this live stream and they'll come into it. And then the other element of that is the more chats we have, the more activity that's going on. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Put in the chat, what kind of constitutional silver do you like the most? Do you stack it? Is it something that you stack a lot of? Do you have a guardhouse box? A couple other questions I'd throw out there for you guys to share with us is, what do you prefer, dimes, quarters, or half dollars? And what's your favorite coin? Is it a Rosie dime? Is it a Merc or a Barber dime? Those are going to be the most common that you're going to see. And then same with the half dollars, you're going to see your Walkers, your Benjamins, and your Kennedys. And then when you get to the quarters, I really only have Washington quarters, but I think I do have a couple older ones. I believe they're Walkers as well that are the quarter. Am I getting that right, Frostbite? Is that what I might maybe have? I haven't broken those out in a while.
Say that one more time.
Do they have like a Walker design for quarters? At least it has the Liberty on the quarter.
So you have Barber standing in Liberty. You have
that's what it is. It's
Seated
standing
Liberty.
Liberty and Barbers. I have like some really worn examples of those that we'll pull out. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna get started on this. I'm gonna start off with my Kennedys. I have the least amount of those, so this is the only one I have right now that is sitting on its own. But what I'm going to do here is get a piece of paper. I'm going to write down a couple key dates for us too. So for the Kennedys, what are we looking for? Is there anything that you would say is a special Kennedy that we might be looking out for?
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, there's so much to look for within Kennedy half dollars. If you're not looking at, if you're looking specifically at dates, there are some dates that you're going to be looking for double dice. There's also certain years, I believe it's 65, where you're going to be looking. Yep, Amy just put that in there, where it's called the accented hair. That is something that you want to do. I'll pull up photos of all of those things.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a great number of things to look for when it comes to Kennedy silver dollars.
So I think that's good. So let's talk about those as we're going through it, as much as you can remember, or we can pull up your chart too. So I don't have a lot of them. We'll be going through these fast. I don't think I've got anything that's going to be special here, but this is one that I have that's loose. And I would say this is probably a little bit more on the worn side of Kennedys that I've seen, but not too bad, right? It doesn't have too much wear to it. It does have a little bit of toning to it. But for the most part, you're going to see Kennedys in pretty good shape. You're not going to
Yeah.
see
So one thing you want to look at real quick, if you'll put that up a little bit on the reverse, there's something called the no FG, and the no FG is that little FG that's in between the tail feather and the leg. Now, in order for that to be the case, it has to be 100% gone. It can't be almost gone. If you move the coin around and you look at it in different light, if there's any hint of it there, it doesn't meet that. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
If that is 100% missing, there's a couple different ones that I can give you those things on. We can talk a lot about that later. There's way too much. That's a whole series in and of itself. But we'll be looking through a couple of things. I know we got like we got a couple of people in here who I know Kennedy's here in chat, so I'm sure that they'll be reaching out and saying some things as well.
Okay, perfect. That'd be great, guys. So for me, I primarily stack this silver because it is constitutional silver. Some of it is what I would actually call junk. That's the term you'll hear a lot of people talk about it. But for me, this is mostly because I want to have low-cost fractional silver in case there's ever a bartering situation. It's also a great way to build a stack up, and can often be, from what I found, even very cost-effective too. So typically, as you get into more fractional, you're going to pay more money for it. But I'm finding people unloading some of their silver right now. And I've been able to find silver anywhere from about $16.50 per dollar face, all the way up to about $21 per face. And it really differs, right? As silver's moving up and down, you're going to find different prices out there. But oftentimes you can find great prices on, local sites. So I picked up a bag of quarters from a local person that was selling them on Facebook. And then I've also picked up some of them from SD Bullion. And then when I go into coin stores, I can pick them up too. So
Will you do me a favor? Down in there, I have something. Can you bring it up real quick?
Yep.
So there is a site. You don't have to make it any bigger. It's fine exactly where it's at. There is a site called Variety Vista, and under Variety Vista, you can pull up whatever year you want. So I'm going to go back one. If I come over here to Kennedy's, I'm going to be able to see all the listings, all the years, see all the information that's there. So if we're looking at the 1964D that he has there, these are some of the things that you can look for. You can see the really significant doubling there in the T on trust. So if I open this up real quick and I break this down, it gives you really good photos. Now, when we're looking at these things, okay, like this one right here over on the right-hand side, third top image right, you can see that doubling really, really clear. When you look down here at the RUST in the lower left-hand corner, you see the doubling really, really clear. When you're looking at varieties, they have to be exact, not close, exact. And you'll look at all these markers. Every one of these things has to be on this coin in order for it to happen. So if you want, and you want to look at this stuff and you want to go over it, let us know. We can do more on that. But again, this is kind of where I'll be looking at. There's only a few that I'll really be digging into for purposes of interest. But since he showed the 64D, I wanted to share this with you real quick.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. All right, so let's hear from you guys on this. Do you guys have any 64Ds, and have you been out looking to see if you have any errors? I'm curious because I think a lot of people that buy bags, especially from online bullion dealers, they're not going through it. That's why we're doing this video today.
Let me correct you real quick, okay? There's an important distinction, and this is a very common one, so don't feel bad that you made it.
Yep.
These are varieties. Okay, there's a difference between a variety and there's a difference between an error.
Okay.
So when you're talking about varieties and errors, they're quite specific. Okay, so you're going to want to look at. That's why the site is called Variety Vista, right? Because these are all varieties. Now there are certain errors that happen. Those are unintended or intended varieties, but you do have certain errors and things that can happen as well. So when we talk about that,
how do you define the difference?
So a variety it's either it's something that was intended to be on the coin. Okay. And so an error occurs. So the 1964 is intended to be there, right? So that is a design element that is supposed to be there. No problem. The Denver mint mark on the reverse is supposed to be there. But if this was supposed to be a 1964 Denver, and for some reason the Denver mint mark wasn't there, or like the FG, okay, the FG is a great example. They polished it away. And so the FG is part of the intended design element. It's not there anymore, right? So because it's not there, you can see there on the left side, in between the left leg, the tail feather, those three little dots. Yep. That is a strike from another coin. That's the reeded edge from another coin smacking that. That's a damage. It's not an error. It's damage. Right. And so you get, after a while, you get familiar with what these are. But if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out. We can clarify. But
So-
varieties and errors are confusing to a lot of people.
No, thank you. That does help. So when I look at this one, to me, it looks like it's basically a BU proof-like finish on this coin. So these are ones that have most likely not been very circulated. But I'm going to show you guys. It's like they're all going to look pretty similar.
Yeah. So this would not classify designate proof-like, because the fields, which are the flat part on the side, aren't reflective. They're shiny, they're pretty, but they're not reflective.
And that's why I say proof. When you look at it, guys, it looks really shiny in your hand.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, a lot of these little dings I can't even see unless I'm putting it under the microscope right now.
And again, when you're looking at coins like this, you shouldn't be looking at them under a microscope unless you're trying to validate an error variety. You should be using one of these, which is a loop. But we would look at certain things. Like if I was looking at it, I would be looking at, obviously there's the no FG, but flip that over and look at the T on trust.
Okay.
Sorry, I just waited till you stood up before I asked you to do something. No, that's Liberty. T on trust down below. There you go. So I would be looking for the doubling in trust, like I showed you guys earlier, right? Looking to see if there was any doubling there. I don't see any on this coin. But when you look at it,
I want to show you just a quick loop too. This is a great loop that I've got. I got this from OC Stacker, and it just says jewelry loop on it. But this one has a really bright light, and you can get all different kinds that are out there. But this one will help me look at things very quickly, especially if I'm at a coin show. What we're doing here, and the reason we're looking at it this way, is so that I can show it on the screen. Makes it a lot easier.
Now it's easy to talk about varieties and errors and stuff, but really, if you're really interested in looking this stuff up, you really need to know the minting process. And I've got we do a lot about the minting process. So if you want to see that, let me know. And we can, if you're really serious about wanting to learn it, reach out to me and I'll work with you on that.
All right, so we're going to go through these guys a little faster now. Let's see if we've got any other Denvers. Another Denver. So let's look at that T again. That does not look like anything there.
They stand. Now you can pull it in a little bit closer if you want to, but you want to see a minimum of half the coin when you're looking through a scope. If you can't see it at this level, it's probably too minor. But yeah, I don't see anything on that one. T-Bird, I have doubling in the silver bicentennial $50 in God We Trust. Very cool. That's a good one.
That one, yeah, he's got a couple dings on there too. It's interesting though, you really can't see too many dings on these. These are the cleanest looking Kennedys I've ever seen that aren't flabbed. All right, so this is our last Kennedy we're going to look at today. He's just got such a tight haircut. I mean, look at that haircut. It's like Frostbite's haircut.
I cut my own hair, by the way.
It's like Tiger's haircut. I wonder when we're
Tiger
gonna
doesn't have any hair anymore.
Oh, wait a second. Tiger. Where's Tiger at?
What time is it? He's probably preparing for work.
Here like this. We're gonna pull through these others out. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna go through now. We're gonna go through. Let's pull up the walkers real quick.
And I've thrown that URL in there. If you're on a phone, I know it's going to be hard to capture, but varietyvista.com is where you can look up those varieties and stuff. Again, if you have any questions, you really want to learn anything about it, just reach out to me and let me know. I'll be happy to assist however I can.
That sounds good. Okay, tell us about these guys. So
Walkers.
these are the walkers that OC Stacker put in his clothes dryer with a bunch of rocks. He's trying to get them all shiny.
Those are those Vegas coins.
These are the Vegas coins. Look at that. I think it's shiny. It's a proof. It's a proof, right?
Hey, no. No.
It's a Vegas proof.
Hey, T-Bird, that would be cool. He says I might do a video on it tonight and post it on my channel.
That'd be
That's
great.
yeah, the doubling on the 76 bicentennial is a cool one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. So what dates are we looking for, and what kind of, I mean, obviously these guys are all really cleaned, but mostly cleaned. It looks like there's a little bit of
There's a number of good dates within the walkers. One of the key ones is going to be 1921, 1921D. They have a mintage of 208 and 246,000.
Okay.
You've got some other ones that are a little bit smaller, 1916, 1916S. You got the obverse mint mark for the 1917D. There's quite a few in here. 1921S all have very small numbers. And when I say small, I'm talking under $1 million. One of the best ones you can get is the 1936 proof. Good luck with that one. The 1938 proof, 1937 proof. The proofs in these are extremely, extremely rare. With all the stuff that these have been through, you definitely wouldn't be able to tell because these things are hammered from Hong Kong. If you know that reference, let me know where you know that from. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few good ones in here. The proofs are the key ones in the walkers. If you can find a proof, that's some good money.
I'm just going to see if any of these dates or anything, even though they're clean, just to show you guys. Looks like they're all 42s and 45s.
T-Bird, I have a great signal at my end. That could be local. Try refreshing.
I'm on a high table, so no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we can get that guy better. All right, so we're gonna pull some of these guys out right now.
So, Surfer, did I tell you how best to insult a friend?
No, tell me.
Whenever you're in an argument with them, just say you have 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place.
Oh, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. We didn't even give him 4. We only gave him 3. There you go. So some of these have quite a bit of. I'm going to brighten this a little bit.
So zoom out a little bit.
Let me see if I can. It doesn't really have a zoom on it, guys. I'll try to see how high I can get it. There you go.
Okay.
That's about as good as we're going to get.
And then again, I posted that Variety Vista link. If you want to go to the Variety Vista and look at these, you can simply go to that, navigate down to $50, and you will see Liberty Walking halves. And then you can look at the different design varieties and things of that nature. There are repunch mint marks. Now you can only find repunch mint marks on Denver or San Francisco. You can't find them on Philadelphia. Can anybody in chat tell me why you can't find a repunch mint mark on a Philadelphia Walker or a Philadelphia Cent or a Philadelphia Merc Dime? Can anybody tell me why you can't find a repunch mint mark on one of those? I'm going to give away a proof dime to the person. Oh, see, Stacker, there you go, because there is no mint mark. Send me an email and I'll send you a proof dime.
He wants you to send it to my neighbor.
Okay.
Look at this guy. Look how worn this one is.
It's better. It's seen better days.
Look at that.
But it's still silver.
It is still silver.
Are those misty bullion?
I don't know where that's from. I would not have bought that.
Here's a question for you, or for Surfer. I was about to say OC. I know he's there. When they do the calculation for silver weight for junk silver, why is there a different number for new versus circulated coins?
Your circulated is going to be missing some of the silver content.
Do you happen to know what that ratio is?
I don't.
I don't know if somebody in here knows what it is. Because I know you have to weigh it different. I can't remember what the number is. So the 40s are very common in these. Again, when you're looking at the 40s,
There's another one.
there you go. Captain Stacks is all over it. 7.23 and 7.15. 7.15 is used if you're buying junk silver, right? The other one is 7.23. Thank you, bud. I appreciate you for doing that. I knew there was a difference. I just didn't know what they were. I think we actually talked about that last time. I just cannot remember. The 41. Are all these still the Vegas coins?
Nope. We already went through those ones.
Yeah, there's really no reason to go through any of those.
No, we're done with those. All right,
Yeah.
let's see what else we got here.
Those are shiny and chrome. What's up, Jack Gallman?
Yes, they are. I'm going to see if I can find us some that are not 40s real quick. Let's see. Most of these were purchased for a really good price. Here's a 36. It's a proof.
So a 36 proof has a mintage of about under 4,000.
So most of these are 43s, and these were purchased for not very much money, guys. These were a pretty good price. I just picked them up for the silver content.
So to give you an idea of the value of that, if you had a proof 68, it'd be about an $80,000 coin.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're pricey little devils. The proofs are cool. Hey Lou, what's going on? Shenandoah River. Hey Jack, that's good news, bud. I'm glad you get to go home tomorrow.
Here's a 1920.
1920. 6,382,000. If you guys want to know, so I've put this in here before. If you guys have seen this, if you want to know what the coin mintages are, this is one of the sites I use. It's not the only one that I use. It gives a pretty good detailing of the various mintages on coins. So if you're interested in looking at what your mintages are, that's a good little resource.
So do you have any of these that are slabbed?
I only have 2 walkers that are slabbed. I like the walker, but it's not. So I like Adolf Weinman. Adolf Weinman is the one who designed the walker. But I'm a seated Liberty person. I have more seated Liberty halves and Kennedy halves than I have walkers. Most of my slabbed half dollars are going to be seated.
Okay.
Because Christian Gobrecht is he's my favorite designer. I absolutely like Christian Gobrecht.
So one of our fellows, Yankee, this week, he posed the question of why would you ever buy anything but a Kennedy? Because he's only going for weight. Do any of you only buy for weight, or do any of you go for completing a set? Or are any of you guys out there looking to, because of the design or who designed it? Okay, here's a 1917.
So here's my Kennedy volumes. So I have all of the Kennedys, with the exception of some of the S mint marks, all of the NIFCs, and NIFC stands not intended for circulation. So yeah, I collect Kennedys, but I collect Kennedys because they're easier to get. There are some key ones that I'm still missing. I've got to finish up my Benjis though. My Benjis are the next one I've got to finish up.
So where do we see the mint mark if we're going to see one on this?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Where do we see the mint mark on this coin?
It's going to be on the left-hand side. Remember we were looking at the other ones? Yeah, it's going to be over there.
So this is a 17 I have, but it's pretty worn and it's been scratched up pretty good too.
Yeah, just a sec. Let me pull up.
So here's a 1917. Here's another 1917.
Okay, so the 1917, there's a couple different things. So look at the reverse. Most likely it's going to be Philadelphia's. There's not, yeah, both of those are Philadelphia. There is something cool with the 1917 regarding the obverse mint mark or the reverse mint mark. So if you'll flip this 17 over, and I have to pull this up because I have to reference this because I can't recall where that's at. The 1917 had mint marks either on the front or the back of the coin, the obverse or the reverse. And I want to see if I can get... try to get a photo of it to show you. Oh.
Okay, and I've got a 1918 that has an S mint mark.
Okay, so if you look at the 1917, if you will, why didn't it do it? Here we go. There we go. That's why. Okay. Pull up the screen that I have. All right. So this is PCGS. So if you look right here, I see my mouse going around in circles under the In God We Trust. There is a small D on the obverse. So when you're looking at this particular coin and you see the D on the front of the coin or the obverse of the coin, you're going to see it under the In God We Trust there on the right-hand side. And obviously you clearly don't see it there. It's not there. It doesn't exist. The position of that mint mark is going to be directly under the R. So obviously we don't see it. So that's not a big deal. And then if you want to look at one where it's the 50-cent reverse, and I'm just going to pull you both of these up on PCGS, because they have issue some of the best ones. This is where you're going to see that mint mark over here, where we've seen the other ones, which is to the left-hand side, right around the cusp of that area here.
Okay.
That small D mint mark right there. And for those of you that can't see that very well, let me see if I can. Unfortunately, that's not
And I've seen this one frostbite.
allowing me to zoom in. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
1918. That's where you've got the.
Yeah. So when you're looking at 1917's unique in that they had it on the front and the back of the coin. So depending upon which one you have, kind of determines the value on that. So you definitely want to be looking at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, and we're gonna put these in decades as well, and we're also gonna put them in by type.
Okay.
So we'll keep them separated until we need to fill the rest of the boxes up. Then we'll just go above them.
Yeah. Now that 1918S has about a mintage of about 10.2 million. So it's quite a high number. Matter of fact, I think it's one of the highest number of walkers. It might even be the largest mintage altogether until you get into the 1940s.
Okay, so I've got a couple others I'm going to show you here. So here's a 39. You guys can see that down below there.
Mm-hmm.
My rule of thumb is if I buy these, it's usually because they have the date and they're in decent condition, and someone's selling them for about the same as a Kennedy.
Okay, so again, we're going to be looking at the reverse on this to determine whether it's a PD or S. So it is a Denver. So the mintage on this one is going to be 4.2 million. The lowest mintage in this particular year is going to be San Francisco.
Okay. And then here's a 36. So that date actually looks pretty good on that one. But it hit.
Yeah, now you see that big chunk of damage on the rim on that side, and then on the other side right under the T. So there's a couple places where the coin is damaged, but this is a 136 million, 12.6 million on the mintage. So, but again, if you're really going to be looking at these things for varieties, you're going to be taking your time. You're going to have the various resources up. We're just kind of looking for the big items, maybe that rare date or that key date. We're not looking specifically for varieties. We would have a totally different setup if we were doing that. I'd have other resources available. We would be definitely digging in. Now, this does point to something that I want to share with you guys. If you're going to be looking for varieties, if you're going to be looking at things like this, there's an adage that Abraham Lincoln stated that if you give me 3 hours to cut down a tree, I'm going to spend the first 2 sharpening my axe. The thing that's important about understanding that comment is that if you're going to be looking for varieties on coins, separate them by mint marks, separate them by years, and then look at that year and that mint mark, and then move to the next one. Because jumping back and forth between years, jumping back and forth between varieties, your eye doesn't get accustomed to seeing it. So if you're looking at this, take a little bit of time and separate them all out. This is why when we were doing the Merc dimes, I told you if you really want to look at them, separate them by decade and then separate them by year. Put all the 30s, 40s, 20s together. And then when you're going through those, you can break all those out and then kind of separate them. Otherwise, you really don't get the opportunity to get your mind familiar with, ooh, pretty.
Look at how mingled that one is.
Yeah. But again, if you're gonna do that, there's some things that you want to put together to make sure that you are setting yourself up for the greatest portion of success.
So I'd like to hear from you guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you take time to look through your constitutional junk silver. you actually take the time to do that, or do you just store it? You really don't care if you've got anything special in there.
Lou said the Merc Dime show was awesome. Thanks. Oh man, yeah. Thanks, Surfer. He was the one that put that together. I'm just here.
So we'll do quarters soon, and then we'll go back and do more dimes. There's a lot of dimes to go do still. But this one's,
You know, Surfer, if I was $1, I'd never go to the Dallas Cowboys.
yeah, that's true. Good idea.
When have you ever gotten 4 quarters back?
Never. So this is the Denver here, and this. Oh, look at that! What happened there?
Somebody was poaching.
They shot it right in the heart.
And you're to blame. Oh.
So this one to me looks really good. It has some toning to it, but this was a gift from someone. But I can't tell if it's actually cleaned or not. But it does not have very much wear.
If you guys aren't interested in errors or in varieties, that's fine. Again, don't think you have to be. The one thing that I really want to press when we sit down, looking at it from a numismatic standpoint, to help the stacker. Okay, that's the premise of why I'm here. Look for those key dates, right? If you have, a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell this story now because I just happen to have a 1991 ASE sitting in front of me. Talking with a stacker in the community, I'm not going to share their name because of a respect to them. And the comment was basically, I don't care about stacking numismatic items. I don't care what the dates are. I only track my weight. And the problem is that he had 2 tubes of 1996 ASEs. Now, the 1996 ASEs are a key date year. They fetch a little bit more money than your other ones did. And I told him, I'm like, well, I will buy a tube from you at whatever your silver rate is. And he was like, okay. But I didn't buy it. When we were done, we were getting ready to do the transaction. I said, okay, now I'm going to tell you how much money you lost. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, each one of those coins in this condition is about $125, and you sold it to me for $30. So you just lost 3 tubes of Eagles in 1 tube sell. And if you want to continue to sell it to me for that, he was like, oh no. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, this is the thing that's important. So I don't expect anybody to collect varieties and errors. What I want you to do is, if you're a stacker and you're really looking at building your weight, go through this stuff, understand what you have, so that if you do have something, like we were looking through the Merc Dimes, one of you guys happens across the 1916 Merc Dime, that's 10 rolls of dimes for that one dime. That's 10 rolls of Mercs. And depending upon the grade, depending upon how nice it is, it could be 15, 20, 30 rolls if you really want it to be. That one Merc dime, if it was in a higher quality, could be worth a ½ ounce of gold. Right? So what I really want people to understand is identify those key elements that can really kick you back some additional money. I don't need you looking at varieties. I don't need you looking at errors if you don't want to. I just want to make sure you're stacking smartly. And if you're really all about weight, let's find the way to get you the best weight. Okay. And that's, that's my goal for you guys.
I can tell you I'm not going to go look at that stuff. I don't have the time to deal with it. But I can make time by doing this. So if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be looking at any of these. I just don't have the time for it. And, so I don't expect this show to be a big, huge show. I don't normally go off of this stuff, and I'm not an expert in it. But I did want to take the time to go through this because you never know when you might find something. So what we've got...
that's true.
We're going to move into... So do you call these Franklins? Do you call them Benjis? What do you call them?
Depends on who I'm talking to. I call them Benjis. But if we're talking about the name of it, it's the Franklin half dollar.
That's kind of how I've heard people use them interchangeably.
Yeah.
Any dates we want to be looking out for these?
Yes. Let's see. What
So I'm
are
going to
the
put
key
it
dates?
here right now. We're going to kind of go through that so we can speed the process up a little bit.
55, I know, is one. 52S. Obviously, the proof's in here. 48. I feel like I'm missing one. Amy, so that's a little bit of a misnomer. So while low mintages are key, a great example in why that's not always the case is the 1926S Lincoln cent. The 1920S Lincoln cent in MS65 condition fetches way more money than a 1909 SVDB because the strike on those were horrific. Yeah, you can look at the Bugs Bunny. Now, there's Bugs Bunny on more than just the 55, but that's where it looks like he's got buck teeth. You really have to know what you're looking for on that one. But
I think I just picked up. I think I just picked up a disease from this one.
that one's seen some environmental damage for sure. So understanding the low mintages is definitely something you need to look for. But if you happen across the coin that has just a beautiful strike, there's no damage in it, it's not been cleaned, it's not been polished, it's a fabulous, what I would call a specimen. Look into the dates and really try to understand kind of what's happening, because you might find a coin that has a fairly decent mintage, but because the strikes were so bad that year, having a really nice one could yield you way more money. 49D, thanks, bud. Yeah, again, Franklins are not my thing. Franklins are not my they're not my my forte. I haven't really even started collecting them. I have a few, but again, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Walkers and Franklins, they're not my forte.
Oh my goodness, what do I have in here? I haven't opened this bag for a while. Let's see. Oh, by the way, we also have this guy here that we're showing off today. This is a kind of a fun silver spoon I got as a gift. It's got a ship in it. I mean, who doesn't want to
whoa.
ship?
Hey, you're talking to me. You know what that means. You keeping that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know you can always send it to your Navy buddy.
I keep all my ship stuff. I love my ships.
Yeah, you and me both.
Okay, real quick, before we go over to the Benjis, though, I did find another group of walkers here real quick.
So, Jack, can I address something with Jack real quick? Jack says some people think every silver dollar or coin has a VAM or error on them. So, not every silver dollar, but every Morgan dollar is a VAM. So, VAM is a classification of dies, and any die pairing was documented and listing by the VAM brothers. So, it's VAM and somebody else. So any Morgan dollar, period, end of story, is a VAM. An Overton is any like cap bust or seated or something like that. They all have their Overton varieties. So again, when you talk about VAMs and Overtons and things of that nature, you're talking specifically about the people who cataloged the dies, and that's where that comes from. So if people are talking to Morgan and say every Morgan has a VAM, it's 100% truth. If they're looking at an ASC and they say, hey, that has a VAM, they're not even in the right ballpark because it's not even the same classification.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yep.
There's no reads on this coin.
Okay.
What happened to it?
Wore down. Are these the ones that came from? So there's a couple of things you can do. So first off, lay it flat. So you can tell that the coin at one time had a good solid strike because you can see a really good solid rim. Okay. So when you look at the wearing of this, so all the way across, all the way around, it had a good solid strike. That means this coin probably got what they called is a dryer coin. That doesn't mean like the laundromat dryer. It just means that it got stuck in something and went round and around and around and around and around and just wore off the reading. If you look at it very, very carefully, you can see them there.
Yeah, they're very faint.
Yeah, but so they've just been worn off. Most likely, this was stuck in a like a laundromat or maybe a change machine, or if these came from Vegas, they were stuck in a hopper, and they just spun and spun and spun and spun and spun and spun, and it just wore those reeds off. It's called a laundry coin.
Thank you for that. I had
or a dryer coin. Yeah.
How many thumbs up do we have now? 35. Okay, if you guys want to do any sticker giveaways, which I have my stickers here, we'll do some sticker giveaways, but we got to get up to 50 on that.
We got 37 watching and 34 likes. That's a pretty good thing.
There we go. We got this. See, this doesn't have any errors on it. It just has a bunch of stacking surfer coins, Maybe we'll make one day. But I got this sticker here that's pretty cool. I only made a couple of those. It's a prototype. I don't think I'm going to keep the logo. I don't think I want to be naked on my own logo. I don't know.
Bum, bum.
And then I got the real ones of me that was used to make my original logo. All right, so I'll give one of each of those away to 2 lucky people if we get up to 50 thumbs up. Let's see if we can. So here's a Denver. No.
There's a die crack in between its legs. That's not a joke. Doesn't add any value, but you can see the little things that happen. Yep. Right there. That's a little die crack.
There you
That's
guys go. So here's one. This is a 1943. And they're not found. So these ones are in a little better shape. I don't know where these came from, but they all have mint marks on them. So this is another San Francisco, another 1942. And this one is another San Francisco. And 1945. So most of these are in pretty good condition. I don't think you're going to lose a whole lot of silver on these, to be honest. I think there's still going to have a majority of it.
No, if you're using that 0.715 number, you're probably going to do better in weight on these ones than you would some of the other ones that we saw earlier.
Yeah, these ones are in pretty good shape. I think these are the ones that I bought for, I want to say like $7 each at the Long Beach Coin Show at the end of last year.
That's not a bad price for these.
Thought it was a pretty good price. The other ones, I don't even know where they came from. They may have come in the bag that I got from SD Bullion.
Yeah, these would be good if you have somebody who's just wanting to start putting a small book together. To kind of just start collecting them. They don't have, they're low budget, whatever. Those are good coins for, especially like kids, just to be familiar with putting books and stuff together. Those would be really good. Those would be really good coins for that.
So the other thing too, that I'll just kind of throw out there, if you guys are buying this stuff, I'll put a shout out for Andy Scheckman too. I've got a friend that bought about $40,000 of constitutional junk silver from him recently, and had a really good experience with it. So that's, if you're gonna be buying bulk, he can get you some great prices when you're doing that. When you buy from a company like SD Bullion, which is where I got a lot of these from, and maybe even Andy too. I don't know. A lot of times they've been gone through, so that's why we're not seeing anything super special here. But we're going to look anyway. And when you buy from people that may have pulled them out of a grandma's stash, that's where you could start to really find some great coins. You know, they're just trying to sell them. They have no idea what the value is. I always recommend being as good and honest of a person as you can. And to me, what that means is giving them a fair value for it. So, you know, you don't go and offer someone 50 cents for a bunch of silver half dollars. At least I wouldn't do that. But you can often find some really good stuff in there. Okay, so I'm putting these together, Frosty, as we're speaking here. And let me tell you the years I've kind of got, and if it's worth looking through any of these years. So I've got 60, 61, 62, 63. Is it worth looking through any of those coins?
Give me those years again.
60 through 62, 63, 60 through 63.
There are some good things to look for. They're not key dates or anything, so you'd want to be looking at some really close things, but there's not really. I mean, we can get really deep into the woods and find something, but yeah, they're not key dates or anything.
Okay, let's move on to the next ones. Then I've got 51, 52, 53, and 54. And then I got a bunch of 57s that are all in really good shape. Where all those came from.
So the 53 is it? That's a lower mintage year.
Okay.
2.6 million.
So I'll show you guys those real quick. Here's a 53. So are we looking at mint mark on the Benjis?
Is Ringmaster Ray still in here?
I don't know. Let's see. Are you in there?
Key dates for Benji's.
He's still there. He's still here.
He would know faster than I would. Again, Benjamin Franklin's are not my. I'm trying to pull that up real quick. Yeah, 54 Bugs Bunny. Yeah, the Bugs Bunnies are big. Why in the world? $53S. What's the mint mark on that one? Yeah, 48.49. Scroll down, or top of the bell. Top of the bell. That's a Denver. 49D, 50D are considered key dates. Let me see here. All right, here we go. 49D, 50D, 55 Bugs Bunny variety. 60D, 61 double die reverse proof. We're not going to have any proofs.
No, stuff's not that good of shape.
Yeah. Yeah, 53 is a lower mintage. So this is one of the lower mintages for the 53. So that's a good one. The 53, if you're getting the whole set, is worth a lot more. But yeah, the proofs are definitely good.
That's a 50. Oh, these are 58s all of a sudden. Couple 53s not that. All right, I got, what about the 54s? Let's look at those.
The what is it?
The Bugs Bunny on the 54. I don't see them on here, but where would they be?
So if you look at the upper lip of Franklin, You'd have to rotate the coin a little bit. What you're looking for is let me do this. I'm going to pull this. It says I got so much stuff open that it doesn't like it. It's not a great image. Let me find a better one. What you're looking for is you'll see this kind of, oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. All right, pull that up. There we go.
I'm going to make that big. Let's go.
That's okay. I've got it. You can see that. So right here, you can kind of see what looks like a tooth that sticks out. Okay, you can see two of them. It's basically, it looks like buck teeth.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing that.
Yeah, you have to. It's how you said. It's not a great image, but let me see if I can find a better image. But that's where it's located. Let's see if I can find a better image for that.
Here's another 53. So we've got that 54. We've got this 54. And he looks perfectly normal. This one has cholera. So anybody want a cholera $50?
Let me pull this one up and see if that one shows it. There we go. You can see this a little bit better.
All right, let's look.
Here you go. You can see this one a little bit better. See how this comes off here?
Yep.
That's what you're looking for. It makes it look like he's got buck teeth.
I mean, come on, who doesn't want buck teeth, right?
Yeah. So that's what you're looking at right there. Now it's very small. It's hard to see, but the variety does command a premium. So.
All right, well, let's look. I got a few more of these. See if we can get lucky with any of these coins. I don't know. That looks
So
like
you'll have to get in a little bit closer on that upper lip in order to see it. And we'll probably have to rotate it a little bit.
okay, so let's see if we can get closer down to.
Focus. Bucktooth Ben. That's correct, Jay.
Nope.
You rotate it to the right. When you're looking for these, it's important to rotate your coins. The light will show something. Yeah, it's not.
Not there. Okay, we got another one. Let's see. We could be lucky. Trying to look for some good giveaways. You know, we could give away Bugs Bunny.
Hey, Steve, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Have a good night.
Thank you very much for coming by. Here's another cholera. I think this one really could give me some bad diseases.
This is why it's always a good idea to wash your hands.
Yeah, don't lick your fingers after doing coin hunting.
That's Tiger's job.
What about that one? That looks like it has something there. Right there.
Yeah, set that off to the side. We'll look at that a little bit more closely.
All right, he's off to the side. I found. Look at this. Here's another 54. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's horrible.
What do you do?
Not having defined. So Captain Stack says he doesn't even have any lips. So having non-defined lips actually is a sign of, kind of helps identify that. But you can have very limited lips, and it just be worn on the coin. So you have to look at that very carefully. The one had a pretty good tell. Rotate that upside down so it looks. Yeah, there you go.
That horror movie.
Yeah, I don't see anything there.
All right, here's the last 54 I found, but we still have a bag.
The reverse would have the mark on it. Yeah, so there are tails. That's what it will. Look at that later, but we were trying to do some other stuff, Amy. So, but you're absolutely right. Look for those die markers.
Oh, we're gonna get a 59 on that one.
It doesn't matter because there's no date.
Looks like someone shot that one. Okay, so I've got, let's see, we've also got, let's see, I've got a bunch of 60s we can look at.
So Ringmaster Ray, I went to the phlebotomist, and guys, don't ever go to anybody named Dr. Acula.
Ooh, that sounds scary. That sounds really scary, actually. Okay, let's look at. I've got some 60s we can look through here. So we're looking for. What are we looking for in the 60? You said Denver's one thing.
Key dates. Let me get back to that.
So here's a Denver. I'll put him aside. There's another Denver.
So when you're looking at the 60D, the thing you're looking for is this is one of those that we talked about, even though they had high mintages, the quality of the strike is really, so you're not gonna see too much of it here. And when looking at the quality of the strike, you're looking at those bell lines, you're looking at those types of items. So again, 60D, even though
a little bit of what a bell line would look like right here.
Let me pull up a photo of that because I actually have a photo up of your bell lines. Let me share this real fast. Okay. So I already pulled this up. So that's what you're looking for when you're talking about the bell lines. There are two sets of bell lines. So you're going to want to look at the top and the bottom. And they have to go all the way across. The only break in the line can be where the Liberty Bell is cracked. They have to be solid all the way across.
Here's where the bummer is. When I was picking these up, a lot of these up, there's another local stacker, and he was asking, "What am I looking for?" Bell lines. He went and grabbed all the bell lines before I got over to his friend's house to buy these. So they grabbed them all first, but you're not going to see any of these because they've already been looked over.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the key things. Again, that's a stacker who understands what they're looking for. They grab all these, they turn around and sell them for full bell lines, and then they increase their stack weight. So again, understanding some of the basics of these is really important.
It is, but my goal is to help educate. So when someone asks me what's something I'm looking for, like that's almost there, but not.
You got 50 likes.
Look at that. We got 50 likes. Okay, we'll do good. Wait a minute here. So you can kind of see the bell lines. This is probably the closest one to seeing it. You can kind of see it go through there. The other thing's the crack. You see the crack very often. It's completely defined. Okay, let's see what else we got. We got a bunch of we got a lot of 57s. What else are we finding? Lots of 54s. There's some other 54s. What about that one?
Rotate it. Again, when you're looking at these, light is the key element here. So you have to see that that edge.
Right there. An edge.
Doesn't appear. Yeah, so you're trying to look at the area under the lip. So you want to keep rotating it that way. Yeah, so that's a little bit better. You can see the image there. There's nothing there.
No buck tooth.
Hey, what's up, Frank?
This is the one we held out earlier.
Yeah, so there's a little thing that outcrops there, but I can't tell. So what we have to look at is, let me close that screen. And I just closed all of the items. So I'll show you. Oh crap! What did I do? I just closed the wrong image. Okay, hold on just a sec. Let me open that back up. All right. So for anybody that wants to understand how the Bugs Bunny actually occurred,
Yeah, that'd be good.
This-
Let's hear the history on it.
say again.
Yeah, let's hear the history on it.
So go ahead and pull that up. This is what's called an overlay. If you're ever wanting to look at how something happens, again, understanding the minting process is going to be key when you're looking at these. So if you look at this area right here, you can see where that comes out, and it's this wing that causes that. And that area right here is the wing from this eagle. Now, if you pull up your coin and you look at the back of it, you'll see the bell. Obviously, because they use the coin flip, then the bell is upside down, and then you'll see the eagle here. But it's the eagle's wings that causes that little bucktooth area right here. It's the last two elements on the eagle's right-hand side. Okay, so that's what actually causes that element to show up to make it look like it's bucktooth. Now, what they would go through and do what's called a braiding, which is basically a fancy name for polishing, and they would abrade it away. So you can see little fragments of it. Sometimes you can see really, really, really nice strikes of this, and you can see it very clearly. Other times you can't. But these are some of the things that you're looking for when you're looking at that. But that's how that actually occurred. So I just took you off. So let me pull up. Because I know you were looking at something else real fast.
So we were talking there for a minute, Frostbite, about why it might be valuable to look through what you have. So what you shared with us is if you don't look through what you have, you could potentially leave hundreds of dollars on the table.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. Tiger Stacker and I went through peace dollars. I don't need my glasses because I don't have to read right now. And we found 7 coins that went into, well, it's over here. I'm going to knock everything over if I try to grab it. It's my peace dollar book. It's right here. And I was filling that, and I needed some upgraded coins, and he found 7 of them in the 8 tubes that we went through. But in trade for fair dollar value, he got 14 coins back. And so when you're talking about weight, his weight increased. No dollar amount changed because we got the same amount of value from each other. But I got the coins I wanted, and he got the weight that he was stacking. Was able to fill an additional tube with the 14 coins that he received from me in the exchange of 7. So he doubled the stack in that particular premise. Now, why is that important? Well, I gave you the story a little while ago about the stacker buddy of mine who had the 1996 ASEs. That is 3 tubes when you take those items and you look at them. It's important to understand the key dates and how that works. A lot of people don't want to go through them, and that's fine. But you potentially leave money on the table, especially when you're looking at gold. Gold numismatic pre-33. If you're taking that just for gold weight and you don't include your numismatic value, you're leaving hundreds of dollars on the table for each one of those coins. And so it's very important that you understand the numismatic value of some of those coins, what the collectability of those particular items are, because it's going to help you understand what's in your stack, but it's also going to help you prepare others in the case of your untimely demise. So You know, you may not have everything put together, but if you know what you have, you can document it and then let your family know, so that if something did happen to you, they wouldn't be throwing money away selling a $5 gold coin for $5 when that $5 gold coin is a $750 coin. So it's really important to understand. And if you don't think it happens, I can share a couple videos with you that people have been searching through nickel rolls and found, or penny rolls or dime rolls or whatever, and found gold coins because they just threw it all together because they didn't really understand the value. So really making sure that you understand what you have. That is a waste of time. Just go buy silver. Now, if you're stacking just bars and you're just doing pure weight, that's fine. But if you're talking about constitutional, or you're talking about, ASCs or something like that, there's inherent value to some of those. So you don't have to. It's not something that I'm telling you absolutely have to do. I'm just telling you that if you're not doing it, you're probably leaving money on the table.
So for me, for example, if I find stuff that's worth money here, I'm going to see if I can trade with a numismatist. To me, this is what I'm going to use to buy stuff with down the road. So to me, it's not a big, huge thing. It doesn't have extra value to me per se. But for other people that are collecting, it could have a huge amount of value. It could be something they're really looking for. So your example with Tiger, I think, is great, right? If I find something here that I can do, like I've also got Morgan dollars and peace dollars. We can go through those down the road too if people want to see more of this. If you guys don't want to see any more of this and this is boring to you, then let me know that as well. Because my channel is not really about coins. It's about a little bit more about investing and just stacking in general and trying to get weight and how we do this. But I thought this might be a good way to look at things as well, because you never know what you might have in your stack.
Well, then let me ask you a question on that particular comment. Okay.
Yep.
If you are, and we'll talk about the swear word, the S word, stocks. Will you buy a stock if you don't understand the valuation of that company, or you don't understand what they have in inventory, or you don't understand how much money you have on the books? If you're not doing the research and understanding the basis behind it, why are you investing in it? And so the same goes with silver and gold. The same goes with that. It's understanding what you're getting into. Now, do you have to be an expert in that? No, that's why there's all of us around here that come together and say, hey, we all have different venues, different walks of life, different things we like. And this is why we come together and we talk about these things. This is why this community is important. Where we get into problems is when, and I say this with a due respect to all of my introvert, where they, gather separately in the privacy of your own home. But you can't do this stuff in a bubble, right? Because you think you're doing the right thing, and you may find that, man, I just threw tons and tons and tons of money away. I use the example of the stacker and the 1996 ASCs. Now, I didn't buy them from him. I stopped him and said, no, we're not finishing this deal. Let me explain to you why. Educated him about it. Now, he took care of me, and I made sure I got, it's like, I just, if you're going to crack it open, give me one. Give me one. I'll be fine. But it's about sharing information. So I'm not telling you, any of you guys, right? Surfer is not telling you, any of you guys, you have to do something. It's just, here's the information. If you want to take it and do something with it, go for it. But it's not a requirement. And so, we're just here to serve, do what we can. And if you have questions, then, we're here to help.
Well, I'll give you another example of this too, is what we're trying to do next week, this time on Whatnot, is we're going to give an auction a try. Okay. I usually don't like them because of logistics, and I just don't have the time to deal with it. But I've acquired a handful of coins that, are worth anywhere from the same price of a silver eagle to double its price, but they're all an ounce. And some of them are fun, and some of them I've decided, I don't really want them. If someone else wants them out there, I'd rather have someone take them that cares about it, and in exchange, I can go buy some more silver for it.
Yep. So,
I've got that. And then there's certain ones that I'm going to hold on to because I really like them. and we're just going to go with it. So here's a 1949 I found, and it is a Denver. Any thoughts
Okay.
on
Yeah, hold it.
it? Hold it.
Now the thing with the 49D is, again, put that back up. When you're talking about these, again, key dates are one thing, but key dates in low grades are still low grade coins.
Yep.
So when you have coins like this, the better condition they're in. Now, this is very important. Okay. Do not ever clean a coin, because things like the patina and the toning, okay, that's on your silver coinage may be ugly, but there might be a really nice coin underneath it. If you take that off, you introduce micro scratching, you end up damaging the coin. The patina only comes, that shine. Have you guys ever heard of the cartwheel? You ever look at Morgan dollars or something that's really shiny, and you do this and you get that kind of cartwheel thing that happens around the coin? That only happens at the time of, oops, I just hit my mic. That only happens at the time of strike. And it's that heat that creates that patina. And that's the only time that happens. You can't bring it back. If you polish it, it redistributes the light and you can tell that it's not authentic. So cleaning a coin totally ruins the value. Now, if it's super, super rare, it'll lower the value a little bit and it'll be clean details. So it won't fetch as much money. In some cases, you might even get away with it, but don't ever clean your coins. Just don't. You don't want to be the person that has a $10,000 coin and after doing it finds out that it's now only worth $500 or $600. Right? Don't do it.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, you don't want, or gal. Yeah, you just don't want to do that.
You don't want to be that person. So to me, this is money. And I bring people like Frostbite on here so that he can help me go through this and see if we've got anything of value. And I've got a sheet here that's underneath. You guys can see this right here. I bought this off Amazon. I'll see if I can get a link to some of these that I like, but this also has a ton of dates on here to look off of. So if you look at this here, you can see all these different dates for half dollars. So we've got things on here that it's pointing out for Franklin, the 1951 center doubling shows on the left side. So it'll go through the actual errors on it, or the what do you call them? I forget the name now. Not the errors, but
Variety.
the varieties. So it'll call out some of those on these sheets, which can be kind of helpful as you're going through it. Okay, so we're going to stop for a second here. So we got this guy, we'll set him aside. Got a bunch more 54s.
And those would be something that we would go through more like on my channel, where we can stop and go, okay, let's take time. What exactly are we looking at? If you really wanted to go through those, just set a tube of 54s, put them all in there. We'll pull up all the resources and we'll walk through them all at one shot. But again, you really need to know what you're looking for. You really need to understand how it happened, because without that understanding, you end up thinking everything's a variety, and it could be just a damage. It could be a die crack. It could be a die scratch. We talked about this weekend on my live streams. How do you know when something is, you hear these people like Paula or Chuck from Copper Coins. How are they able just to say this? It's because they know the process. So again, if you're interested in the process, let me know. Just like all of you here, there's 1,000 people out there who have the same questions. So remember, There's no stupid question except for the one that's not asked. So I don't care if you feel it's like, oh my God, this is, I don't want to ask him that question. Ask. Because I would rather you ask what you consider a dumb question and learn something than not ask it, miss it, and then somebody else finds a valuable coin because you didn't ask.
I heard there's no stupid questions, just stupid people. Is that true?
I am embodiment of that result.
And it's usually because you didn't ask the question. That's what got you.
Oh, I got a question for you about banking.
Yeah.
That's actually more of a statement, not a question. So my daughter came up to me and she goes, "Hey, Dad, I want to get a loan." And I'm like, "Why would you want to do that?" She goes, "Well, I don't really want to get a loan. I really want to just understand the process. Can you make it easy for me?" And I said, "Yeah. All you got to do is get all your stuff together, go to the bank, show them you don't need the money, and then they'll lend it to you."
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. It's totally true.
It's true. And she was like, "That doesn't make any sense." I'm like, "Well, that's debt. There you go."
Yeah, the reality is
Yeah.
the people that have the great credit scores are the people that aren't really borrowing very much. That's kind of how it goes. But I tell you on banking, here's a thing that you guys should be really aware of, because this is going to come up soon. I should probably do a video on it. We're about to see interest rates most likely get dropped. At least that's the consensus going into September.
Election cycle.
Yeah. If you have a loan right now that's sitting at let's say it's 6.5%, and when they go to change the rates, it goes down to say 6% from 6.5%, and let's say that's going to save you about $60 or $100 a month. Is it worth refinancing?
No.
Why?
Well, okay. I should say that depends. I would say no, because the amount of money that you have to put in to secure that, so you're going to have other charges and stuff added onto it. And it depends on the term. So there's a couple of things that I would say no, because of the charges you're going to incur in the reinvestment.
So it's not only charges, your loan is amortized, so you pay more interest up front in the front part of the loan. So if you go get a car loan, the car loans are set up so that you pay the same amount of interest every month during the entire term of the car loan. When you buy a home, they amortize it. Okay, so that's called simple interest. You take the 5-year car loan, how much interest you're going to pay on it, and they divide it by the term of 60 months, and then that's what you get. When you get a home, they don't take the 30 years that it would of interest and divide it up evenly. They put 80% of the interest in the first 7 years. They know that most people are going, well, that's not exactly true. You'd have to look at the math. Maybe it's in the first 10 years, but they're front loaded. And the reason they're front loaded is most people, the average person only stays in home for 7 years. And so they're hoping that they can make as much interest off of you in that 7 years, because that's how long you're going to be there. So you always got to look at your APY, not just your interest rate. You may find out that you're actually paying a lot more. And so you might think you have a 2.5% loan, and you have a much higher loan than that, or interest rate. You might have a much higher interest rate than that. And if every time it went down, you continued to refinance every year, every 6 months, they continue to roll that loan back, and you end up paying a couple more years of interest as well. So you really need to do the due diligence and make sure that it's a drastic enough drop to redo your loan. A lot of times you can call the bank and ask them to recast your loan. So if your loan is a 30-year loan and you've been paying on it for 5 years and there's 25 years left, if interest rate drops down, most lending institutions, including banks, will give you a one-time recasting, where if the rate goes from 6.5, say, to 5.5, they'll go ahead and recast it for you. And it's not going to cost you anything extra. You're actually going to get a big benefit from it. So that's my banking tip. Okay, let's see if we got.
Yeah, when I did mine, I took mine from 4.75 to 2.5, which was a good one. They recasted it and saved me tons of money.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
But I've
recasting.
been in my home for
So much.
10, 12 years.
All right, we're putting the 62s away. We went through all the 54s already. I'm putting the 51s away. Let's see, yeah, 51s are being put away now. And I'm putting away the 63s. Actually got more of those. And then we've got, let's see. We could look at the 51s, but I don't know if I would be able to tell the doubling with my microscope. And I don't think there was anything on the 58s especially.
Yeah, the biggest thing with what we're looking for right now is just looking for some of those key dates. Now, if you pick these up from like SD Bullion, the likelihood that you'll have any key dates
It's pretty
is
rare.
going to be slim and none. Yeah.
But if you pick it up from your friend's grandma or your friend,
Absolutely check. Yeah.
grandma, and they're just unloading them because they don't really know what it is. And they're just like, hey, I heard this is worth more than 50 cents. What can we do?
Yeah.
It's a little different story.
Well, that was, I don't know if you remember. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I've even told you this, but good friends of mine, when I worked for the Air Force, he was a general. And so,
By the
him and
way, when you're telling a story, if there's a dad joke coming.
well, here's the thing though. You never know when I'm telling a joke or when I'm serious until I finish.
That's what I'm telling you. So I have to say.
That's why my dad jokes are so effective. This is a genuine story though. Anyway, so I called him and said, hey, I'm doing some stuff with coins and you know, we were just kind of talking about some stuff. And he's like, oh, my wife's husband passed away and had a Foot Locker. Her dad was West Point graduate, and had a Foot Locker of all of his old Army stuff and had a bunch of coins in there.
Okay.
And so they were coming to where I live, and they were like, you know, can we get together and kind of look through some of this stuff? And I was like, sure, whatever. Now, when people say that their parents had coin collections, I've seen coin collections, and I've seen a 5-gallon bucket of change from, you know, 5 years ago.
Yep.
And so it was like, I'm not sure what I'm looking into. We walked in, and man, this guy had a couple gold coins. He had a whole tube of 1982 Libertads, which is the first year of the change. He had 1991 ASEs. He had like 2 tubes of those. Had a lot of cool numismatic items. He had probably 150 Franklin halves. They were all pretty decent shape. And we spent like 8 hours, and we just went through this as we're talking about stuff and going through and looking at items. So when somebody asks you to look through some stuff, if you get there and they have a lot of nice stuff, if they're like, well, I just want to sell it, be on the up and up with them, right? Because the coin shop that they went to in the area they lived in offered like $3,200 for the set. And when they came here, we went through it, cataloged everything, and got them almost $7,000.
Yeah.
So
trying to take advantage.
now they connected me. He gave me a $2.50 Indian gold piece and a really nice collector piece that I needed for my book. So they took care of me, but I took care of them, right? And so be on the up and up, because integrity first really does matter.
I completely agree and second that. Okay, we're going to do a giveaway here for the stickers. How many likes did we get up to?
53.
Let me refresh.
So
Since the YouTube update doesn't do that anymore for you. 52.
All right, guys. So I'm also going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to show you what we've done today. So you can see, but we have filled a good chunk of this box. I actually did not think I had that many to even come close to this. So right now you'll see, as far as the Benjis go, they're all different dates by themselves. So, you know, I mainly want to fill the box, and I'm kind of done with half dollars for now. The quarters is going to be pretty freaking hard to fill. There's a lot of quarters in those boxes. And then we still have a long ways to go with dimes too. But I like to have some of these, but I'm really trying to concentrate more on the dimes at the moment.
So I'll offer you the same thing I offer with Tiger,
Okay.
if you want, which is I'll send you like 2 rolls of tubes, and then you send me 2 rolls of tubes. We search them, identify what's there, locate what the good value items are, set them aside, replace them so you have your tubes back, and then you take those items and you trade them up for whatever. So if you want to do that kind of stuff, we can do that. Tiger and I have done it with probably 10 tubes of dimes. We've done it with the Morgans. We've done it with some peace dollars. We've kind of went through a bunch of items, and he's been able to increase the stuff that he has. We've probably traded out like 30 coins. But he's probably got like 50 to 60 back in trade. I've also found buyers for some of the stuff that he's wanted because he's had 1 or 2 pieces that were nice. So if you want to do stuff like that, then let me know and we can work something out.
Yeah, we should totally talk about that. I think that would be kind of fun. So,
because people like watching coin roll searches, and I'll get people like Paula Bloom and Amanda, Coin and Card Hobbyist from Live Coin Q&A. I'll have them come on the stream. They can look through the items with me. So it can benefit both channels. It can benefit both.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then we're going to get on the computer and do our giveaway here. Yeah, my hands are pretty gross. I could call it syphilis on these hands from someone's coin.
Chad Wolf said, I found an 88 air out of like 2 years of searching nonstop. I was on the fence about getting it graded because of the high grade. I sold the penny for $100. It was $700 or $800 penny. I sold it raw. I would grade it, but I don't know how to fill out the grading form. Yeah. So again, if you're looking at doing something, bottom line up front, okay. This is just one of the things we do. I will not grade a coin unless there's a genuine purpose for it. If there is a coin that has a rare variety or a really, really nice coin, like this one I picked up because one, it's a really nice coin. I want to make sure that if this is a 1991, you can't see it very well because of my green screen. But I've got other coins that are really nice that I will buy slabbed if I really want them to be slabbed. If I find something like a 1916D and I'm looking to authenticate it, I will send it in to have it graded and verified and validated, make sure that it's an authentic piece. I'll be working with people ahead of time to look at it and say, yes, we believe that's a proper coin. If you guys have seen on the channel, we had somebody had a 1795 half cent flowing hair. Absolutely fabulous. Hey, put in hashtag Kennedy. Get put into the giveaway. And we were on, and we had a couple people on, and we just identified the coin and we looked at it. Is it authentic? Is it genuine? Is it real? And after the 4 of us kind of looked through it, it's like, yes, we believe this to be an authentic coin. We made the recommendation for him to send that coin and have it graded because that coin, one, needed to be protected because it's a freaking gorgeous coin. But number 2 is you need somebody to authenticate it, validate it. If you're ever in the situation that you need to do that, find a trusted source. Find somebody you can trust. We have people in the community that can assist with that, and have them send it in with their grading. So, for example, if I'm going to send something in, I'll reach out to one of the various coin shops either whether it be online or whatnot, and ask them, when are you submitting? And I will send that coin to them, and I will allow them to submit it along with their item. Now, I do that only with people I 100% trust, because I know I can do that. If it's something like a 17.95 half cent, not too many people are going to have those. And so we wanted to make sure that it's authentic and stuff like that. But if you have questions or comments like what he's saying in here, I'm not sure how to do this, I'm not sure what to go through, reach out to us, let us know. We'll find people that's going to help you save money, that's going to save you fees. We'll make sure that you're protected. We'll talk about the best way to transport your coin, things of that nature. Because again, we don't want you spending money on doing something thinking you're going to have more value in it if you're not. So we can go through that and make sure that you're all set up accordingly.
That's awesome. And I think that's, so much of this is about community. So we're going to give this sticker away right here. Just put in the hashtag Kennedy on that one. And we're going to pick in just a second. We got 10 entries. If we have 9, let's get to 10 entries and we'll go ahead and pick that. And then we'll do the next one on the second one too. All right, I think we are close.
How many people we have in chat? We've got 34 people watching. Come on, folks. Hashtag Kennedy.
You guys don't want stickers. I get it. I'll keep them for myself.
You want magnets.
Oh, you want magnets. What if all of a sudden I said it was an ounce of gold? Would you put it in there?
You know what I used to do?
What'd you do?
So when I worked for the company I used to work for, I would buy these little buttons. So they had little magnets on them.
Okay.
And I would do my little logo. And I would give that to them. And they were like, what's this for? It's like, it's proof that I have it. I would call it personality. It's like, it's proof that I have a magnetic personality.
I like that. And would it stick to your temple?
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
It failed.
Well, magnets don't stick to rocks. So.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's true.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to buy some more of those and send those out as items.
All right, we're going to show the picking here so you guys can see what goes on here.
And I'm going to send you a couple links to throw in the description. Variety Vista is going to be one of them. If you're going to be looking through other items, so that people can look through these items if they want to. And then that the one with the mintages to help people understand what mintages are in the coin. So I'll send those to you so that you can put those in your description.
Perfect. We're going to do the draw real quick, guys. Man, there is a delay on that. I can already see the winner before it even starts for everybody else. Billabus 11. Congratulations. So go ahead, and I'm going to put my email in here. And we'll get that sticker off to you. So go ahead and just email me your address so I can send it to you. But that's for this fun sticker right here. I actually think it's a pretty cool sticker. There you go.
So do me a favor. I'm going to draw for a proof coin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you a proof coin. Go ahead and put that in. Go ahead and do that. Do proof. Yep, that's good. Proof works.
You just got to put the hashtag in the front, guys.
Yep, do hashtag proof. And I'll give away a proof coin.
So just like this. Here we go. All right, we're going to give away a proof coin, guys.
Okay, and I'll do that as a thank you for Surfer for allowing me to come up.
And then we will have a bunch of giveaways this time next week when we're doing our Whatnot show. So I'll get you guys some information out this week for it. So here's the deal. You don't have to buy anything. Just come hang out with us. Check it out. It's a test for us as much as it's a test for you guys to see if it's something worth doing or not. And if it works out and people have fun with it and it's enjoyable, then we'll do it again. If it's a pain in the butt and it doesn't really work out, then that'll be the last time we do anything along those lines. But I think it'll be fun, and we're going to have giveaways. We will have we'll have some competitions on there too, if I can figure out how to do that. But it should be pretty cool. All right, we got 14 so far. We're going to go ahead and start drawing. Oh, we got one more person in.
Hey, OC or Amy, can you put my channel in there? Yes, I do have a channel.
Yes, you put it in there. Yeah, throw crossbites in there.
Captain Stacks.
Stacks, congratulations! You get to get a little bit closer by getting the real surfer there. Look at that. So the stickers have been fun. I've had a lot of fun creating these and putting them together. I do have some magnets too, so we'll be doing a lot of stickers and magnet giveaways on whatnot as well. But I have no idea. I don't know if we're going to have 50 or 100 people on there, if we're going to have 2 people. So I'll start advertising it probably starting tonight once I get some time to build it up.
So Captain Stacks, what we'll do is we'll email me. We'll talk a little bit about a couple of the coins that I have. I'll let you choose. We can talk about. You're
also getting the proof too. You get the proof and you get the sticker on that one.
Yeah. So email me on that one. So congratulations, Cap Stacks.
Frostbite. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to give away? I don't know. Do you have anything else? You guys like empty boxes? Does anybody like cigar boxes? I think we're probably not going to do that tonight, but we're going to be doing a handful of those as either giveaways or purchases that just kind of cover the shipping. So I got to figure out what that. But here's an example of what we'll be doing. Let's take this one off. So these are cigar boxes. They're almost always, at least from what I've seen, are made out of cedar. So they do kind of keep the moisture out. But there's a Crazy Alice one. So they've got fun ones like this. That was kind of loud. And I've been using these to store some stuff in. So this one looks like a treasure chest. Kind of cool.
Oh, see, that's what I was going to. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, but
tell me.
Well, take your junk silver and put it in there, and then you can call it the junk in your trunk.
The junk in your trunk. All right. We'll leave it at that. I like that. That one's good.
Come on, tell me that wouldn't make a hilarious short. You know it would.
It would make a good short. You should totally do it.
Yeah, it would.
Chest.
No, so you have to do it. You're the one with all the junk silver.
Oh, I got to do it with all the junk. We'll have a bunch of these in there. So some of these guys I filled pretty tight. Look at that guy. He's like right at the edge of it. So I think I'm just curious to see how many coins I've this roll. So I've got 2, 4, 6.
Penny pincher coins. I'm actually going to be every Saturday and Sunday morning at 8:30 Central Time. I do a stream and we talk about whatever's there. If it's numismatic, if it's like the series that I'm going to be working on, where I'm talking about the symbology on coins. We talk about Constitution. We talk about junk silver. We talk about stacking. We talk about finance. I bring people on who are coin collecting enthusiasts. I bring people on who are like Charles Daughtry from Copper Coins. Fun panel, lot of information. Sometimes it gets all squirrely and goes off the rails. But we kind of talk about whatever. What I really like to do is discussion based from chat. So if chat has something they really want to do, I'll grab the research, I'll pull the information together, and then that's what I'll stream about. So if there's something you guys really, really, really want to see, let me know, and we'll make sure that we get that out there and look at that information. Some of the best streams are led by the stuff that you guys want to know. I'm sure the same goes with Surfer.
Yep. No, it's totally true.
we're here. We love to do this, but we really, really, really like to share that. So
No, I agree. I mean that I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Nick's hair, or maybe it's her magnetic personality. Maybe she needs one of those. Or maybe it's her flip coin. We don't know. But supposedly, she tells me she gets piles of fan mail every week in the mail. And
who's that?
Nick's coins. So I don't get very much.
How many of them are asking for a date?
Yeah, everybody, I think. But what I'm not getting enough from you guys is just questions. We're always looking for things that we can, create a video out of, that we can do a show out of. We're looking to answer questions you guys might have. Majority of what I've created is based on my journey. It's the things that I have done. It's the things that I'm trying to figure out. I've overbought a little bit on the fun collectible side. You're going to see that on Friday next week. And so I'm going to tell you from a stacker standpoint, if you're a prepper stacker, you probably don't want to buy a lot of that stuff. You probably just want to have fun with us. If you are if you like to collect some of this too, then I think we're going to have some really fun stuff for you. But the reality is that there's so many different ways to stack, and there's so many different things you can do. At the end of the day, silver is silver. Even sterling silver is still silver.
I need to give you my address, by the way.
Yes, that would be great. So you guys keep stacking. Gold's on the rise. I think we're going to see this gold to silver ratio come down soon. When that does, you're going to see the value of silver go up. If gold holds its own. So I think we will start to see some of that happen as well. And get ready for the crazy coming this year. I think this election year is going to be kind of nuts. So hang in tight. Well, I got to take off, Frosty, but thank you for coming again. I think this was awesome. Maybe we'll do a few more.
Thanks for having me up.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Let's see if Frosty can stay on. Hey, Frosty, hang for a minute if you can.